bastard sermon, you motherfuckers.
Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
I'm awesome.
That's Luke Young.
And I'm Lloyd Johnson.
And that's Lloyd Johnson. This week, we have a guest that I'm actually super fucking excited to have on.
Okay.
It's EMPR Citizens. If you want to go and check his shit out, it's EMPR Citizens over there on Instagram. Everybody, please give it up.
Thank you.
And because he's doing some, a little bit of not above board graffiti shit, I'm going to do my best to not say the name that I just learned that I know is his name and shit like that. And if I fuck it up and you hear beeps, it's because I fucked it up. So I apologize in advance if I do that. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Thanks for coming on.
Hey, good to be here.
Yeah, I just listened to you on All City. When I say just, I mean probably a couple months ago whenever you did it or whatever, and that was a fucking super interesting time. You came across as so just regular dude, like painting shit, putting up like pasties and stickers and shit, while Danny Gamble's like dropping fucking alien conspiracy theories on you and really like trying to like rack your mind and shit like that. And Danny's so good about like, he's always reading books and like delving deeply into like the theories and processes of shit. You came across as just like regular dude, like not that you don't have like the same like fucking thoughts and ideas in your head, but you're just like, I don't know, man, I'm just fucking putting stickers up, making statements. I'm hanging out. What's going on?
Yeah, well, Danny's a professional talker. He's hard to keep up with. So
hey, what about these aliens from this extra dimension? Whoa,
yeah, that's how him.
cool.
I don't know if you know him and Rand did like a 3-hour episode.
Yeah,
Multiple 3-hour episodes.
Yeah,
yeah.
You get those two together. That's talking.
Yeah, that's two professional talkers. So
before we get into this, I know fans have been disappointed in me for not putting up YouTube videos. Those are coming. By the time that you hear this, check the YouTube. All the ones that I didn't put out, I'll put that up. I'm sorry I've been lazy. It's my fault. It's no one else's fault. And for this episode, I don't want to blur any faces, and I don't want to, change any names and shit like that. So there won't be video, but this is an actual planned thing for once. It's not laziness on my part. Just gotta, if somebody's out there doing cool shit on the streets and like putting shit out there where they might potentially get in trouble, you gotta protect their identity. Fuck faces. So don't get mad at me this time.
Appreciate that.
I mean, you can get mad at him still.
Let's get right into it, man. Can you tell us what Empire Citizens is?
I guess you'd call it like a art campaign. So, I started making stickers. It initially, I guess, it came from skateboarding. Like, I grew up skating and shit, so, and that culture comes along with sort of anti-authoritarianism and a lot of images, like cool countercultural images. So I started, like, cutting stencils, and then, grip tape is, like, super sticky, impossible to remove, so
what were the standouts, like the shit that you were seeing at that time that like really spoke to you?
Like Alien Workshop, I would say is the main one.
Yeah.
Yes,
just
dude.
That's got that Midwest flavor, and
this is your skater right here.
That was my favorite brand when I first got into skateboarding, dude.
Me too.
I had it all, man.
Yeah. All the like Exalt the New God and all those sort of graphics. So,
I feel like I would have fallen easily into that group, but I had like a size 14 by that time, so my foot hung off of either side of the skateboard.
You're just
So
riding a
I guess
tree.
this doesn't work for me. Yeah.
The one time they could actually hit you with a "get out of here, clown" shoes.
Yeah, for real.
I was wondering. You said you got into this through the skateboarding culture. Did you grow up in Ohio?
Well, yeah, I'm from Northern Kentucky, so
okay.
Like
so
Covington.
where were you skating?
It was weird. Like we always had like sort of cutty spots to skate. Like if it wasn't like some Kroger parking lot or something like that, but
we had an IGA docking.
Yeah, that was the shit back in the day.
Yeah.
It was all abandoned. There was just like the little truck loading docks.
We
People
had like
breaking their elbows, fucking going off the sides of that and shit.
I dislocated my pinky at an IGA.
Everything happened.
I did too, but I was doing something totally different.
Yeah. But we had like an abandoned parking garage and like a roller skating rink that was abandoned that we had to like shovel off, but it was super smooth. And
they had a like big Bob's carpet that was abandoned.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. We the cops ended that though.
Oh yeah.
It was like 4 months of bliss. and like a strange homeless man living there saying he was going to make a living giving us tattoos and stuff.
Yeah, sweet.
It was
yeah.
dope.
Hepatitis.
Cool.
Yummy.
Abandoned building tattoos. I'm in.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that hepatitis.
Show me your
It was
leg.
cool as shit, though. Swear to
Show
God.
me your leg, Luke.
Oh, no, I didn't get those from him.
No, there up where I grew up in Finneytown, like there was a Big Lots there that emptied out, and it was a couple of different things, like a furniture store or whatever, and then it was empty, and a bunch of kids broke in and tried to skateboard there, but it's attached to an entire other shopping center, so like people were just seeing them walk up to there with their skateboards and go in the back, and they're like, you know, they called the cops every time.
Yeah.
And it went on for probably a good 6 months of different groups like finding that building abandoned and trying to skate inside, and the cops just being like, dude, come on, like,
Enough.
it's in a shopping center. Everyone sees you.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, though,
Sorry.
getting used to the grip taping, did you start making stickers out of grip tape and shit like
yeah,
that?
yeah.
And painting decks and stuff?
Yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, I started like painting stencils onto grip tape and then like cutting them out, putting them on the backs of signs. And
What was your first one?
Yeah, I had to think.
Were you doing some real toy shit?
Whatever
Yeah,
it was
for
cooler
sure.
than mine.
Yeah,
I remember my first board. It was shameful, dude. Shameful, because I had just gotten into the into skating. I found the group to skate with, and the only board I had or had the money for was this old board I got years ago as a gift. It was a Walmart board. It had Spider-Man and Green Goblin from the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
Oh,
I
sweet.
spray painted it black, and I was like, "This is my board. This is
Yeah,
it."
there you go.
Now I got
Yeah.
my first anime workshop.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever you did, it was a million times better.
Were you making big political statements then, or was it just you fucking around?
No, I
like,
think the first stencil I ever cut was probably a Wu-Tang.
hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the
Yes.
first sticker I put up was probably, I think I did like a Mickey Mouse with a gas mask.
What year are we talking?
I mean, probably like 2005 or something. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah. But I went to school for art and stuff, and yeah, so.
How'd that pan out for you? Did it actually like end in like obviously you're doing it like career based and shit like that, but did that do you think help you a whole lot? I went to school for art also, and it didn't
Yeah.
do fuck all for me. I feel like I just wasted more time doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was a bit of a disillusioned idealist, so yeah, I kind of was naive enough where I was like, oh, you know, if you do what you love, you know, everything's going to work out.
People will
Follow
really
your heart.
appreciate that eventually.
Yeah, but right around the time I graduated college, the economy took a shit, so I ended up landscaping. I've, you know, been a landscaper for like 20 plus years.
Let's get my landscape artist.
Yeah,
Hey, it
exactly.
works.
Yeah, it's
Show up and they're like-
definitely work.
Hank Hill cutting the lines perfectly on the grass and shit like that.
Boss
Yeah.
shows up and they're like, will you please stop cutting the bushes into Mickey Mouse with gas masks? They just want regular. This is a retirement home. They just want regular bushes, okay?
That's enough.
I have been
Most of these
putting up
guys are having flashbacks.
What's the giant anarchy symbol on the quad? Come on, man.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, these days I'll still put stickers up on jobs and stuff if there's like a power box or something.
Fuck
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Is all your shit sticker based usually?
Well, I do like wheat paste too, so that's like large.
Can you describe that for people that aren't familiar?
So basically, it's like you can make a large stencil or get like a digital print off on like a butcher paper, basically, and then you put a layer of glue on a wall, slap your poster on, and then you do another layer, so it's kind of like suspended in the glue, and then it's just stuck to the wall for a long time.
Are you familiar with David Cho, like the artist that got famous for painting the? He used to do a Vice series called Thumbs Up, where he was like hitchhiking across the United States and shit like that, like doing dumb shit, riding trains and just like trying to see if he could make it from this location to another location. One's like Mexico to the North Pole and all this fucking crazy shit. And
Isn't he also like a chef?
well, no, you're thinking of David Chang.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Koreans, they all look alike. Kidding. Kidding. Don't write us emails. I'm joking. These are jokes.
I think
no.
they both had shows on Vice at one time or another. Though.
Yeah, they were. They worked together definitely. A point of it with that guy though is he was doing those wheat paste stickers and signs, and he became like a billionaire from like painting the Facebook offices. Like, he was a gambler and made his first million like gambling his fucking paychecks, working at comic book stores, and was already a millionaire before anybody even knew about it. But then like Zuckerberg hit him up to go fucking graffiti paint style. Like, he wanted some hip fucking first Facebook office, and he was like, at the end of it, he was like, I promise you 40 grand. I have the 40 grand. I'm not going to fucking jip you out of it. But would you rather have 40 grand Facebook stock? And he was like, I'm a gambler. Fuck it. I'll take the 40 grand Facebook stock. And then the IPO took the fuck off, and that 40 grand turned into several hundred million. And then he sold most of it for a couple $100 million, kept a little bit, and the rest of it turned into like another couple $100 million. And then he just became the highest paid graffiti artist in the world doing shit like that. But he was doing all illegal shit, wheat paste. But if there's a documentary called Dirty Hands that he had produced, if you want to look it up, it's free on YouTube or whatever. Where
I'm intrigued.
It's fucking great. That and the old Thumbs Up. There's like 5 seasons of it on Vice and shit. But he was doing the same sort of shit. Like him and who's the guy, the Obey guy, Shepard Fairey. Yeah. He's doing shit with him where they're doing wheat paste all across everything, and he's doing back in like 2004 or some shit like that. He got locked up in Japan for like fighting some security guard. Didn't know how long he was going to do, but he did this whole like journal that he put together, and it kind of seemed analogous to what you were talking about with the wheat paste and stickers. But outside of just doing stickers and stencils and shit like that, are you ever like putting up like throwies or burners or anything like that? Is that your shit as well?
I mean, I dabble. I mean, I was never like a really seasoned graffiti writer. That was definitely my initial interest as like a kid, was getting into graffiti, and I got busted pretty early on.
What happened?
We were painting like this overpass over these railroad tracks, and
sounds about right.
Yeah, I was painting.
We're at the right location for the story.
Painting with some buddies that I was skating with, and we're doing our thing, and it was all toy shit, but we were out there doing it.
We sketched a train up there, and then we grinded the tracks all the way up to
So we're painting and stuff, and we hear a voice from behind us go, I think it needs a little more blue. And it was a fucking cop.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I think you guys even try to run?
I think it needs a thin blue line in there.
It was yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
That was perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we were like 15, 16, so it didn't amount to much. We had to go back and paint over it. But my parents from that point on were very deterrent towards the graffiti. But
were you writing EMPR then?
No, I had, my name was Crumb, so that was like the name of my...
hey, that's awesome.
Were you spelling it with like umlauts, and instead of there was no M, it was two
I
N's?
wasn't getting that fancy. That was like the name of my like security blanket bunny or something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You're 15.
Yeah.
You're still carrying that around.
I was like, what's something personal? So, and then I was a fan of Robert Crumb, who's a favorite artist of mine.
How much trouble do
I thought you said Crom at first, and I thought it was about to be a whole like Conan the Barbarian god, and I'm like,
that would
fuck.
be sick.
Yes, I'm in.
So sick.
Conan, what is best in life?
Yeah.
To murder your enemies, see the women driven before you.
To see your enemies driven before you.
Yeah.
To hear the limitations of the women.
Yeah. I heard Crom, and I was like, fuck yeah, and he went a whole different route, and I was like, oh, he said Crom. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Who's the artist from fucking Conan? What's his name? Frazetta? Frank Frazetta. Yeah. Oh, those things still hold up. I still watch I still look at some of those, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? He's blowing up on Instagram. And I'm like, a guy that died 40 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah, he's murdering it. No, but how much trouble do you get in from getting popped like that? I mean, you're a minor then, so I'm sure it doesn't hold the same.
It was like we had to go paint over it.
A little slap on the wrist action.
Not even. I mean, it was like they like took our boards and called our parents, and then there was no court or anything like that. So, but what was I gonna say about that? I don't know. Oddly enough, it's about painting. I do like I guess moonlight or daylight as a muralist. So, I mean, I'm not doing graffiti, but I do large scale murals and stuff like that. So I do some pretty big projects at the skate park in Newport every year for Halloween. I'll do a big scene. It's usually spray paint involved.
Skate park in Newport, is that the one that's...
it's under the bridge in DIY.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so fairly involved there. But
is that legal stuff, or you...
I mean, I don't ask for permission, but I don't get in trouble either. So
I feel like if you're doing something in daylight and you're like It's all about the construction vest. If you get the right orange security vest on and you look like you're supposed to be there, nobody's saying shit. Right. Now it's hip to do that shit. And now half the time, if you're putting that shit up, you're increasing the property value for all the hipsters that are buying it.
Exactly.
So who the fuck's going to say anything about it?
Yeah. I mean, that's how I do most of the Empire stuff. Like, I've been doing some, like, bus ads around town. And I'll just
they're fucking awesome, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
What are your bus ads? You're spray painting over homeless people, like I forget the guy up in Chicago.
Oh no. It's just like
ear snot.
I do. It's like the images I've given you guys here. It's like the vandalism for hire and suckers, and I got the witch hunt bench, and I got a few more coming out. So.
You were going to tell the vandalism story before I cut you off, before we turn the mics on. Can you tell that?
Sure. So, I mean, one of the graphics I've done is vandalism for hire. And basically it's a ripoff of a local company called Vandalia Rental. And a buddy of mine pointed out to me that it's like 2 letters off of vandalism. He's like, you should do something with that. And they had this funny little character. So I kind of made it me, but with like a ski mask and all the...
It's got a crate of paint and some bolt cutters and some fucking a couple like sticker things sticking out the side of it. It's fucking live, dude.
Yeah. So vandalism for hire will get you covered. Empire citizens. It says contact, but there's no way to contact me, which is kind of the joke. And it's kind of like a play on what you were talking about, it's hip now. So like street art's super cool and hip. So it's like this appropriation of, this counterculture to increase property value, so it's like vandalism for hire. But anyway,
that's a great concept. Yeah, don't take away from that. Like that's fucking awesome. Like, so I'm glad that you're thinking about it still, because nobody fucking. It's exactly what you're. I've heard a very limited amount of street artists just through All City talk about it that are like Gamble's really good about putting guys on. Like he just did the show up in Chicago. I wish I could quote some of the writers' names, but he let them all just have time sitting there talking for whatever it was, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, sitting there just talking. And these are guys that came up in like gangs and like illegal scenes and shit like that. And now it's all hip and shit like that. And
right. Well, it is and it isn't, right? Because like if graffiti pops up, people are, especially in this town, are quick to buff it. But if it's if it's a big lady face, then it's like, oh my God, that's so cool, blah blah blah. But it's all derivative of graffiti and graffiti culture, and I just think it's weird that people like draw this line where it's like, oh well, if they got 40,000 Instagram followers, then it's okay. But this person writing on the bus stop's a dick, or whatever. So.
Especially when some of the shit that gets covered up, like in Northside, especially.
Oh, it's wild. I mean,
some of the shit that gets covered up, I'm like, that was way better than whatever.
Oh, I mean, graffiti's always better.
Like,
street art going up.
Oh, like that's way better than like the dumb shit you have hanging up in the windows right next to it. Like, just leave it be. It's fine. It's better than what. Right. And then they just
not
cover
to
it
mention
over.
all the fucking billboards and bench ads for all the other bullshit like breast enlargements.
And
call Jesus for truth, and like, why do we have to endure all this visual bullshit? But then you see some like blazing masterpiece from a graffiti artist, and it's like fucking. Paint over that immediately. You know what I mean? It's like a stifling of the human spirit.
This person doesn't have an agent. Fuck their art.
You'll hear me quote Gamble throughout this whole podcast just because he's the only person that I can really go to that has like a full-on podcast where he talks about it constantly and just gives people free masterclasses on this. But he made so many good points that I'm going to bring out throughout this whole thing. But one of them was just like, it was like you're affecting just the very first couple, like, not even millimeters, but like molecules of a surface structure, and trying to change your world around you just doing that, and try to have some interactivity with the world that you live in, which is supposedly what everybody is like given the opportunity to do within this world. But that's a crime to try to make the world.
It's like wild, man.
Your little art piece, and then also the point of like writing your name it's the only crime that you're like.
Yeah. You're
signing your fucking name onto your crime and shit like that.
It's the oldest crime too, apparently. But art crimes is a weird concept. Like, it's weird that people are risking their life and freedom just to like paint something illegally and have it
just
be
to
like
express
this.
themselves in a real way. Like, I don't know if you guys know, those guys who made those fucking cave paintings back then. They got evicted.
I hate you.
You should. That was.
They're extinct.
Those are my people.
What makes it so compelling for you to keep going, even though everything's kind of become like oversaturated? I guess is the word, and they've cut the teeth out of it. It seems like.
Well, I mean, I guess like because I kind of have a foot in that world. Like I'm down to do corporate gigs just because my main gig is landscaping. So
you got to make some money, baby boy.
Right, and if I can get a job painting, like paint is way lighter than rocks and dirt and shit like that. And I'm getting a little older, and I don't want to have to like get paid for what I can carry on my back. So I mean I'm willing to kind of paddle that boat of like doing corporate jobs. Oddly enough, I've done a mural for Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It wasn't my art, but I
get that money, baby. I'm not mad at you.
Make that bag, sir.
Yeah.
Didn't take stock. It's stock options though.
But
they learned their lesson.
Yeah, for sure. That place was fucking weird. But
were you in the main office, the big ass one? Because the one that Cho painted was the old school one. The funny part of that Dirty Hands thing too is Mark Zuckerberg hated it, and he was trying to tell him it's not finished, and he needs to keep working. And he's like, "You don't fucking tell me when my shit's finished. You don't like it, I'll walk the fuck out of here." And he was like, "No, it's fine. I just think that this." Yeah. He's like, "No, it's finished." And
yeah, I'd like to get a chance to piss off Mark Zuckerberg. But
did you? Pretty sick.
I'm guessing you're not being hired directly by Zuck himself.
No, not at all. This was like a subcontract job. Like the guy that designed it knew me, and then I was hired through an agency. But
were you just painting a friend's thing? Like they already had something set up?
Yeah, the design was already set, and he's not a painter, but I was, so I got the gig.
There's no way he's talking to Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg does only two things now. Communicates with his other aliens out in the atmosphere.
Yeah, he's a shape-shifting reptilian.
Yes, and he fucking smokes. He smokes his meats. That's all he does.
And he buys a lot of Sweet Baby Rays that he keeps on bookshelves.
I was just gonna fucking bring that up, Lloyd. Yeah, dude, the video of Zuck like talking about Meta, the transformation of Facebook and Instagram. In the background, he's got fucking Sweet Baby Ray as a book stop on his bookshelf, holding.
And
like
it's just sitting there by itself, like for no reason, on like a little corner piece.
It is good barbecue sauce.
It is, but it was weird. Like,
well, it was when Facebook first dropped Facebook Live or whatever. He went like 6 hours on there just smoking meats. Just talking about Sweet Baby Rays and how
is he smoking meats like a cigar? That's
actively.
Yeah, he just gets like the kebabs.
His rolls are made out of human skin.
He's got a brisket. He's clipped the end. He's smoking it. Hello, fellow humans.
It's burning flesh.
That's what happens when you get banned 13 times. He skins at least one of your limbs.
Smokes it. Well, what was it? I was going to say
painting the Facebook office.
Yeah, painted that. But so I I got a foot in that whole thing. But Empire is like a chance to say what I want and actually put something out there that has a little bit of teeth, and
do you have specifics?
Not have to deal with all that bullshit. So.
Can we go to a couple of these if you have
absolutely.
Specifics? Just if you want to break down concepts. I know that breaking down concepts for art is so like. I don't know, man. It speaks for itself, but if you wouldn't mind, is there ones that specific ones?
Pick one out, man. I'll give you the rundown.
I wonder what this one's about. I'm confused.
Oh, you're confused about that?
I have no idea what's happening here. I'm kidding. All right, maybe this isn't the example. It's for the listeners. It's the World Trade Center's two reptilian fists holding up the puppeteer guide, the marionette wires. Two planes flying in. A very obvious concept. I just thought it'd be funny to say that. Yeah. What about shit like this? What's
so I guess we should talk about the shape-shifting reptilians, right?
Please.
Okay, so
let's go into fucking all city territory. What's up, Danny Gamble? We're coming for your podcast, bitch.
So I mean, are you all familiar with that?
Yes.
Like David Icke?
Yes. I have loved shitting on David Icke for years.
Okay, so yeah, it's like people that know about the project or know that I'm involved will be like, do you believe in the reptilians? And I'm like, no.
I thought you'd take the hard, like, of course I do.
Yeah. I mean, it's all kind of like a
wait and see what the conversation turns into.
I'm a smart ass by nature. I come by it pretty honestly.
And when you feed the crazies, they give you more crazy. Like if you pretend like you're on the crazy side, then you can get it like an inside scoop.
Exactly.
Because if you're like no, then they turn into reasonable people that just have normal conversations. But if you're like, oh yeah, I'm all in. David Icke, you want to see my David Icke tattoo and shit like that? That's a tribute to David Icke right there. Oh, me too, dude. And then they start giving the inside scoop.
Right.
So
Keep going.
a friend of mine runs like a fairly decent sized like skeptic group on Facebook.
Yeah.
And me and him for years have shit on David Icke and the weird shit, like to the point where we have a bunch of inside like ways we respond to each other's like.
Oh yeah, what's
shit.
his name? Ben Shapiro?
Yeah,
Ben
that's my
Shabubi?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
his poor wife.
Ben Shabibo?
He has a wife?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately.
Allegedly.
And I don't know if you ever saw that whole thing with the.
I bet he's getting docked.
when
That's
WAP-
all I can say.
when
Or is it
that
pegged?
Pegged.
Yeah.
Pegged. Yeah,
No,
he's
docked
getting-
is
Oh,
even
when he-
funnier. He's
yeah.
holding two dicks together.
He's probably getting docked, too.
You know his dick is the littler
I
dick
know
that's
where
having
you're
the
going with
foreskin
this.
pulled over it.
Yeah, when that WAP song came out, he was like, "That's not how any girl." That's
Who
not
would
how
want
Yeah, who would want a girl just like being that wet all over the place? And it's
What
like-
ass?
and
pussy?
everyone just pictures of his wife. Like, there's a picture of them sitting together, and she just got this look on her face, like, like you know what I mean? Like it's eye roll, like shoulders down, head slumped, and it's like, oh, yep, that tracks. That tracks.
If you want to hear the funniest breakdown of the funniest Ben Shapiro that I've ever impression making fun of him that I've ever heard is the Cumtown one, where just look up Cumtown Ben Shapiro. It's like a 20-minute bit of just like Nick Mullen eviscerating Ben Shapiro in the best way that I've ever heard ever. Just look that up, and I'm not going to try to do a poorly timed impression of that, but
I always said he's like one of the flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a
He
sad,
only-
strange little man.
He only seems imposing when he's ripping apart a straw man.
yeah. Oh, damn. That's a real. Wow. That's
I
a
thought that
really
was pretty
good.
clever.
Yeah.
It was good.
There's a new sticker.
There you go.
also getting back to the stickers and the shit that you're doing, the reptilian thing that you were making us familiar with.
Oh, yeah. So, and I mean, like, the whole idea behind these, like, outlandish conspiracy theories. So, I mean, obviously, that
QAnon shit.
has increased since I've been doing this. Like, people are just fucking wilding out on a bunch of nonsense. A lot of, and I'm conspiracy minded. Like, I definitely think that there are conspiracies, like consolidated power working together to
the nature of the
consolidate
word.
power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's plenty of evidence for that, but the
The nature of the word conspiracy is a real thing. 'Cause
Yeah, sure.
To conspire together, and I don't know, we could go down the whole conspiracy rabbit hole of like how they use the conspiracy theorists, like when I say they, I mean the United States government, the CIA, and
sure. I
It
mean,
means
it's
the
well
reptile.
documented that
they use that word to discredit people, and I'm sure
Sure.
that they've got like saboteurs in place, and
Right.
plus now the internet's filled with dummies that are just like gonna do it on their behalf. They don't even need the fucking saboteurs within the the government
yeah,
to
it's
fucking
totally blatant. These
people are gonna
days.
make up their own bullshit, and then
Right,
that
but-
completely discredits the entire movement. But
But
yeah,
there's
continuing on.
guys like you that do the research and like understand.
I don't know how much research I'm doing.
I was gonna say, I think you're putting a lot
I
on.
was gonna say like you probably at least understand that most of that stuff that Pizzagate and all that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Straight out of like 4chan.
Oh yeah,
Reddit
it's crazy.
stuff.
It's crazy. Yeah. So the whole stupid joke behind the lizard man is that people are willing to entertain outlandish conspiracy theories instead of accepting hard truths.
Yeah.
So the truth is that fucking people are cold blooded. It's not some like trans-dimensional alien shape-shifting right. It's fucking people are cold-blooded individuals that will slit your throat if it means that their lot in life is a little bit better. So and
That's why we're secretly videotaping this podcast and putting
We're
your
gonna
real
hold it
first
against
name and
you.
last name on it.
fine.
Kidding.
I hope
Yeah.
that's not the case. But
It definitely isn't.
Not.
I try to play it safe. I don't want to be incarcerated.
100%
I
kidding.
do not want to
And
be.
we're
a
sending
guest
this
of the state.
directly to the Anunnaki headquarters
Oh,
and
no.
the Denver airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 11th planet, Planet X. What do they call it?
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
that starts with an N.
10th planet.
Well, David Icke says that it's the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
It's
The
like
moon
a-
matrix,
Mm.
the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've
it's
dug
wild.
deep in that fucking world to the
wild
point of.
shit.
I purposely haven't because I was so into it when I was a kid, like middle school age and shit like that, and started watching the what was the big one, that
With
was
the
out.
bleep down the rabbit hole.
No, it's the Zeitgeist. That's what it was.
Oh,
There was
yeah,
the-
the Zeitgeist
that was so
blew my
compelling
wig back,
when I was in
man.
7th grade, dog, until like a friend watched it with me and then watched it with his dad, and his dad broke it all down for us. Like, hey man, they've got the religion shit almost right. They've missed a couple things.
Yeah.
That's all they got. All the rest of this, let me break it all down for you. And they started like hitting me with facts and like opening up books and like talking to me about it. And I was just like,
you see that part right there where you said open up books?
yeah.
That's where most of the people miss this train. That opening up books part, they skipped
Yeah,
that.
fuck out of here with those books. And had he not read them to me and paraphrased it in a way that my child brain could fucking absorb it, I would have still been like, this guy's a fucking idiot. He's one of the reptilians trying to fucking subvert. Jamie, you got to kill your dad. That's what I think.
the whole time-
Spill that reptile blood. You'll see when you open them up, it's acid blood. All right, it'll melt your knife.
The whole time growing up, like everyone throwing that shit at me, like my autistic fucking science brain is like, all right, well, hold on, but you missed all of these points that would make this nonsense. Like, how do you not know this
You want some
already?
ice?
Oh, sure.
And people would be like,
I'm just
well,
drinking soda, guys.
they're like, well, but how would you know that that's that? And I'm like, that's basic. I mean, real basic science. Like, did you not take science? And they're like, well, yeah, but this guy says this. And I'm like, right, because you let him talk to you for 30 minutes with no one else interrupting, and he made points that sound salient. You didn't think about it for a second. You just went, oh, okay, that's what this is now.
I also...
And I lost friend after friend after friend after friend from just being like, huh, I saw you in physics. Like, you were in the same room.
But I believe something, my belief carries more weight than
Any
some
fact.
observable phenomenon
Yeah.
that can be tested again and again and again.
Fuck empirical evidence, dude.
Yeah.
This guy that
You can look it up in the book I wrote. It's all
I
there.
feel like mine's justifiable because I was so young when it happened, and then as I broke, the last one that I watched that I love was the Michael Rupert documentary where they went to go and down or not down. That's the Nazi one. What's it called? I forget the name of it. But in 2010 or something,
yeah,
they
where
went
he's
to
talking about peak oil and all that stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
They went to interview him about the Contra conspiracy that he fucking opened their heads up on, and he was like, "Fuck that. Let's talk about oil. Everything's made out of oil. You go outside, the telephone pole, the streets, the cars made out of oil. Look up in the sky, the birds are made out of oil. The sun's made out of oil. We're fucked, man. There's not enough oil." And I was like, he's smoking American spirits the whole time, and I was like, I'm smoking American spirits. I'm like, he's right. There's no oil left, and we're all fucked. And then he's probably right, but that was the last one that I felt really heartfully connected to. And then after that's like freshman year of high school, and then after that, I'm just like, even if this conspiracy shit is true, I'm just like, I don't have the time or the energy for it. And anytime that I try to talk about it factually or try to break this down with somebody and actually understand their perspective, I understand that they don't understand their perspective. Like Robert Reynolds, the guy, rest in peace, Robert Reynolds. He was a fucking round earth denier that used to come on our podcast, and every time you
flat
start,
earther.
every time
Earth
he made a
denier.
point, he made a point to say he wasn't a flat earther. Anyways, he came with PowerPoint.
I'm anti-round. I'm not flat.
He came with PowerPoint presentations and went out of his way.
Well, that's
Luke
the thing
found him.
nowadays is that there's enough shit out there you can back up any perspective you want.
Well, the problem is you can't, though, because what they do, instead of when you start trying to break it down with these people, they don't back anything up. What they do is you challenge that, and you're just like, let's agree to disagree. Here's the next thing that I believe in.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
roll on.
And I'm like, no. You can agree to disagree about opinions, about like, oh, you didn't like Dexter. Okay,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
agree to disagree.
you don't like this movie? Fine.
But things that are facts, we're not agreeing to disagree. You just don't understand science.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference
But
to me.
I mean, with rampant intellectualism or anti-intellectualism, it doesn't matter if you know something. Like
Right,
like,
that's
we
the-
see that it doesn't matter as much if people don't understand science. So
I remember
It's
being
fucked
like,
up.
I remember being younger and like the internet hitting, and I'm like, oh, this would be so like awesome for access to information. Like it'll stop this shit.
and then Pornhub.
I was
came along.
so wrong. I was,
X videos, but yes.
yeah, I was so wrong. Like it went so the other direction of like now everyone has access to information, but
It's
no
mostly
one,
disinformation.
no one is like putting like the brakes on like the ridiculous information out there.
So I have a theory about flat earthers. If you guys want to hear it,
Go for
Yes.
it.
Absolutely.
it's a bunch of nerds that want to get together
Nailing it so far.
and want to fuck each other.
Yep.
So they're all like, yeah, we believe in flat Earth. Want to go back to my hotel room?
Yep,
Like,
they
we're
get-
having this flat Earth convention. Let's get drunk, and you want to come back. You know?
I think they're all the people that
it's
kicked out.
LARPing. It's like it's
The
like
crazy part is this fucking the one that we had was like he played for college at what was it?
NKU.
He's 6'7", could have fucked anybody that he wanted. He's a big giant fucking. I mean, maybe just because you're a big giant tank of a man, maybe you can't fuck anybody that you want. But I don't think Robert had any
Not with
problems getting
consent.
pussy. I don't think that he was a
The
nerd.
NKU college page had the alumni page and everything. Tag him and make a post about it when he passed and everything.
But yeah, he's like
dead.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
died of a heart attack.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, rest in peace, Robert Reynolds. He was a fucking
R.I.P.
idiot, but he was our idiot. He was our fucking idiot, and we loved him.
Yeah, I love Robert.
I
I
still
didn't have
love
any
him.
connection to that guy, so fuck that guy. But
I was also gonna ask,
He was awesome.
Luke, did you ever have a conspiracy bone in your body? Was that ever something that you did?
Well, see, I always had my dad to like bounce things off as like a moral.
don't follow a bone in
Paul-
your body with. I had my dad.
So foul.
I was spit taked over all the fucking electronics. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, like I don't know. A lot of that stuff, like the ridiculous stuff I just had, something in my brain was just just seems improbable. Like there's just no way that could be real. Like if that seems like something that could easily be solved. But
You mean space
anytime
lizards didn't just fucking ring a bell of truth?
But anytime my dad would say like would talk about a conspiracy I had heard about with great belief and like conviction, I knew it was a crock of shit. I knew it was bullshit. My dad is absolutely retarded. He doesn't know what the fuck he is talking about.
I know what you mean, yeah. But so you didn't buy into it because you saw how dumb your dad was?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
I envy you. I fucking
Yeah.
If only my father had not have taken himself out so young. Maybe I could have got some more racist advice from him, and I could have joined the Klan eventually.
Dude, my dad. I'm
kidding.
I'm sure he had.
He's shaking his
what
head
was-
like, "Oh, I hate this guy." No, I'm
No, what was
being ironic. I don't want that to happen.
what was that social media app that came out for the
Parler?
Republicans?
Grindr.
Parler. I was certain my dad was a part of that.
think
I
we
was
both killed it
certain
there.
because when COVID dropped, it looked like a hot album, and everyone was like shutting things down, and people were about to get locked in their houses. My dad was one of those guys who was like, "We need to buy at least 12 guns." Because they're gonna rob and kill us. They're gonna take everything in this house.
By they, he meant.
Black people. 100%. 100% he meant black people.
Oh yeah, your dad sounds awesome.
Dude, my dad believed Y2K, dog. He thought it was
course he
over.
did.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're here making fun of these people subtly. Like, not even subtly, but like the people that get it are on the fucking the inside tip on it. And shit
Yeah,
like this.
I'm definitely trying to like poke the bear a little bit.
I think you're nailing it with this fucking. I also wanted to ask, just on an artistic level, when you're making this shit, is this something that you're doing physical, that you're taking pictures of, and then turning into stickers, or is this like a Procreate situation, or a mix of whatever
yeah, I
it
use
takes?
like I was pretty adverse to digital technologies.
So was I,
yeah,
but
I was always a painter by trade, so
what
damn
mediums
rebel.
are you going? Acrylic or oil or all
all
them?
of it. Yeah,
I was always hardcore acrylic. I don't know, something about the
Yeah.
fast drying, like.
Oh yeah.
I
These
love
days,
it.
I love acrylic. Yeah, just for those reasons, and it's not as toxic as oils. But oils, you can't beat the color mix. I mean,
Sure. That's why I paint on my kids' rooms in all acrylic. And
Yeah.
I can let them paint on the walls now.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
give them
super fun.
brushes, and I'm like, here, I got fucking Craftsmart paint. Just paint on the walls, and it binds right away.
That's awesome.
Sorry, keep going.
Oh no! So when somebody showed me like the iPad programs, like I was usually pretty like I guess formal in coming up with like the stencil designs and stuff, and it's all kind of like a appropriated imagery collage. But then I saw the programs on the iPad where because I always worked with like X-Acto knife and Xerox machine and kind of piecing shit together. And then I saw that you could do that. I think the whole stylus thing that like changed everything for me because
It made it feel real.
yeah, because anytime I saw this massive toolbar and like clicking a
You
mouse,
gotta do it with a
and-
mouse.
Oh,
I
dude, it was
hated that, man.
horrible.
I hated the
Yeah,
Photoshop.
Hated it.
Procreate changed the motherfucking
Oh,
game, buddy.
totally,
like
dude.
And when you
Totally.
can put like the overlays on the screen that
Yeah.
makes it feel like paper, it gives you a
Yeah.
little extra drag and
So
shit.
that totally changed the game for me. So and
Pressure curve, just a free
Yeah.
advertisement for Procreate. If you're an
Yeah.
artist out there listening to this and you don't know about Procreate, I was adverse to I was all I think you should definitely learn I mean, I'm not an accomplished artist by any stretch, but I know my shit, and just from hobbyisting it, do it, learn it physical, like for sure. I think that you'll learn all the skills that you need to physically, and then you'll get to see how easy it is to use those skills and apply them quickly and streamline your shit by doing Procreate. Speaking to the audience more so than you, but yeah.
Oh no, I'm too big a dummy for even Procreate.
What do you use then? You're saying iPad programs. What is?
Yeah, I use Adobe Draw, so it's really rudimentary. So it's really bad. I probably do more work than I need to, and I know Procreate is dope, but I look at that big toolbar and it freaks me out.
There's no big toolbar. I wish I had my iPad. It's as complicated as you want it to be, or it's as simple as you want it to be. I mean, it could literally be.
This episode is brought to you by Procreate.
I mean,
Fuck
we are
Procreate. Adobe, bitch.
I have no stake in telling you about it other than I've used the other ones.
I have it downloaded and I've fucked around a little bit, but I don't know. I like the draw.
Stick with what you like then,
because you're like already in a vector file. So I don't know.
And George R. Martin's still writing on a fucking like one of those, I don't know what the Commodores with the fucking black screen, the green letters and shit. So
please
you write a Game of Thrones on that, cool. Yeah. Like I'm not trying to teach him how to use fucking Windows 11. Fuck that. Use what you like. You know, you're creating great shit.
Please make us a sticker of like the exaggerated flat bill with like the battle vest and just like as a Procreate ad.
He'd have to see all that. He doesn't even. I'm wearing a regular T-shirt and a normal hat today.
So you took your flannel off.
I don't know what your normal gear is.
It's the denim vest with all the fucking studs and shit.
Oh, sick!
I shower with
a punk
it.
rocker.
A shower with it?
Dude,
yeah, that's how I identify at all times of the day.
That thing has never been cleaned ever. I assure you.
That's how it's supposed to be, right?
I just put it together and I like it, and then they break my balls about it.
Punks don't do laundry.
Yeah,
that shit's lame.
I do so much laundry. I got 2 kids, dog. What do you? My kids aren't going to school with dirty clothes on. What do you mean?
Punks don't do their own laundry.
You're a fucking sellout.
My jacket has all black metal patches on it. The next one's gonna have David Allan Coe as the back patch.
You better have those kids busking up on Short Vine.
Yeah, I'm not fitting in with nobody. Fuck you guys. I just like how it looks.
You need a pit bull on a hemp leash up on Short Vine. Fucking busking.
Fucking love it.
And he's starving.
God damn it.
But yeah, I mean,
will work for dog food, but I'm not talking about food for the dog.
That's right.
All right, yeah, heroin jokes. Here we go.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Oh Lord.
It's pronounced Lloyd.
What's that? Oh Lloyd.
Lloyd, you silly bitch.
I've been doing that since I was like 12. Anytime someone's like, "Oh Lord," I'm like, "It's pronounced Lloyd."
What are the scary?
I just refuse to give it up.
What are the scariest spots you put yourself in to get your shit up?
Like I said, I'm kind of a wimp, man. I play it pretty safe, so I don't
even playing it safe. Like, what's your like? Maybe it's like just legality, or maybe it's like I put myself like really high up in the air right now with not a lot of fucking safety restraints, and this feels rusty.
Nah, I mean it's pretty basic. I just look for kind of cutty spots or like shit that most people probably overlook.
I don't think most people know what you mean by cutty spots.
Just like, you know, what do you call it? The urban scape, dead visual space. So,
yeah, there you go.
I mean, like I think that derives from skateboarding, like looking for spots.
Yeah.
So like a set of stairs to somebody's like it's a set of stairs, but to a skateboarder it's like, oh shit, that's fucking.
There's a rail.
Yeah, dope
oh,
gap.
Shit.
Like, oh, we could wax that up, or you know, just like a bent pole or whatever. So, like I see like a empty bench or like a boarded up. You know, it's especially in Cincinnati, it's just fucking spots everywhere. I wish I could get as much as I want, but there is like legality issues, like having to explain yourself. So. It's usually pretty quick in and out. I haven't really had any sketchy brushes with the law or people. Like
sounds like you learned your lesson young though. You got popped trying to write, and you're like, that's not my thing anyways. I'm doing quick pasties. It's hard to get caught doing that.
Yeah.
And even if you're doing that, like I said, orange construction vest, middle of the daytime.
Right.
You look like you're supposed to be there. I think everything's probably going to be fine. You walk around like nothing's happening. Nothing's probably going to happen to you.
Well, wasn't it like just this past year someone got in like a bunch of trouble for making a YouTube video where they like got into the Grammys or something like that with just a vest, a high vis vest?
It was the
have you
Kanye
seen the
video.
The
They, like,
videos
walked
of the
right
dudes with the
fucking-
ladder?
No.
It's like
We can look it up right now. Hold on.
two dudes carrying a ladder, and they just fucking walk into all these crazy spots.
Oh yeah, no. One of those dudes actually was like a sketch comic guy for a long time, and then
I want to look that up.
went off the rails.
Luke was making a point about his thing, though. I saw what you were talking about. It was cool as fuck. You would even appreciate it. It was social engineering shit, where it's like they saw on Instagram one of the security guards at a Kanye show posted a fucking. Is this what you're talking about? Yeah. Where he saw the security badge. He took that. He poorly photoshops it on his own security badge to make it look sort of similar, and just fucking takes the staples and gets it laminated, puts it on a lanyard, goes in there, and he was like, if you just have the right cameras, I mean, it's just social engineering. And next thing you know, he's 3 feet away from Kanye, and maybe it was a setup, maybe, and then everybody in the comments, of course, it's all fucking, well, the reptilians, actually, he's part of the lizard people with Kanye, and fucking, and they let him in, and fucking, this was all staged and paid
this is a
for.
tutorial on how to stab people.
And who knows, but that.
It's like, this is how you get close to Kanye to stab him to death. Like,
But also that social engineering shit, how you get away with like doing like daytime fucking like writing or just putting your shit up and stuff like that. Like it's really interesting the type of social engineering that you have to do to, get away with your type of craft.
With serial killers, like how they use like they'll flash a cop badge and get kids and like people who are younger all the time.
I do that all the time.
Social engineer people with,
I've got
with
so
authority.
many kids.
I got an ice cream truck. I got a big cone painted on it. It's a weed pasty sticker of a cone.
They're in a room in the Mockbee that no one knows about.
I'm sorry.
There's like 14 of them.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Luke?
Nothing.
So I play it safe. Like I figure if I'm like pasting up on an abandoned building that on the boarded up window or the boarded up door, if it comes down to it, if it comes back on me, I'll be like, I'll buy you a new piece of plywood or paint over it or whatever.
I mean, you're doing it on abandoned spots where squatters are in there shooting dope and fucking shitting on the floor. So it's like,
I was gonna say the only time I've had any sort of interaction putting up has been like this homeless dude. And he recognized my shit and was like, "Oh, you're the guy that does these. They're fucking sick, dude." I was like, "Sweet, man. Thanks."
I so wanted that to go a different way when you're like, "What's the most dangerous spot you've ever put yourself in?" He's like, "Well, I did date this chubby goth chick just because like her apartment was right by the thing." And
you mean graffiti writing?
He's like, "Oh, and I mean, it was cool because like we could like trade each other's X-Acto knives. Like, she's cutting her thigh, I'm cutting out things." But like she wouldn't let it end after I tried to end it. So that was pretty scary.
Yeah.
I love how long you were sitting on that X-Acto knife line. You nailed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty
when he brought it
adverse
back to playing it
danger.
safe there, but yeah.
I don't like danger. Yeah, I just try to put in high visibility. So
do you have a
Instagram?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I sent the video of the ladder guy getting through security to our Instagram.
Oh, there it is. 2 guys on a ladder.
Lloyd should have got a notification. Did you send it to Lloyd?
Oh, I didn't send it
to Lloyd's because we're logged in on that and we'll be able to see it. What the fuck were we just talking about? Because I had something to go off on.
You asked me if I'd ever been like in a sticky situation. I did get arrested once, but that was for forging a college parking pass.
I've
What?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't, but CDR EMPR Hucker has forged a couple COVID vaccination things for
that seems pretty easy.
Some people. Well, because they don't look at it, and everybody's like, I don't know, dude, I just got tested 4 days ago, and the show says that we have to be within 3 days, and I was like, give me your up-to-date COVID thing, and I was like, change, and I'm doing all the work on Procreate to take a number from somewhere else in there so it looks exactly right, and then we get to the show and then they pull it up and they're like, yep, that's good. And I was like, the fuck was I doing all this work for? I should have wrote it in shittily, not even with a stylus, with my finger and fucking red ink that was different from the black ink it was printed from. Like, this is not the same as, I don't feel like CDR Empire Huckers, whatever, forging documents. I don't feel like I was doing that. You got in trouble for forging documents though?
Yes.
Holy shit,
misdemeanor charge. Yeah.
That's a misdemeanor?
And speaking of like
forgery,
changing numbers, so I got my buddy, like I thought it was bullshit that you get charged for a parking pass. It's because you're already paying for classes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm already paying you guys. Like, nobody's like parking here and going shopping at Kroger. So, like, why am I paying for this parking pass? So I borrowed a buddy's and was forging parking passes for like 3 years. I would just change the number randomly. And then I was walking back to my car one day and I was swarmed by like the campus security or
Over fucking parking passes?
Yeah, and they started grilling me about this parking pass. They're like, "We know it's stolen," and I'm like, "Well, it's definitely not stolen." They're like, "All right." I tried to feed them like some story. I was like, "Oh, I'm just borrowing my buddy's pass," and they're like, "No, we know it's stolen." Like blah blah blah, and I'm like, "I promise you, it's not stolen." And they're like, "Well, explain that." And I was like, "I made it," and they're like, "What?" And I was like, "I
did you
made it."
admit?
Like because they were like,
Is that better than it being
I
stolen?
figured like I didn't want to get charged with theft or whatever, so I was like, this is fake. I made it, and I started like peeling it apart, and the cops were like scratching their heads for a second, and they were like, "Well, that's not legal either." Like fucking put me in the back of the car and shit. And
You should have showed them your police ball, like. Oh my god. You should have showed him your Ford's police ball. Well, all right. Well, I just had dinner with your boss and whipped out a fucking. You got the Coca-Cola fucking one in there, and you've got the lizard reptilians ball and shit like that.
Yeah, just forge an FBI badge. You'll be fine.
Yeah, why not?
Well, they were telling me that they had to pay for parking, and I'm like, well, if you guys need some passes, I can make.
I will say.
I tried to bribe the cops with more forgery. That would have helped you get out of it.
I will
Take
say
advice
that
from
when
me.
I went to Cincinnati State, someone just took the little thing they print the ticket that you leave in the front of your car.
Yeah.
Someone just took one of those because they had 4 of them in the little booth. And half the time when you got out to walk past to go to class, the guy left the booth to go walk the lot. And then the problem that arose from it was someone couldn't find the charger for that, so they just swapped it out with a new one and then gave it back to the people on their last day.
Hell yeah.
Criminals.
We've got a video that Luke just pulled up, and then after we talk about this for a second, we're going to go to the plugs and then Patreon and shit like that.
It was the video Empire was talking about, dude getting into places with just a ladder.
Okay, this is my mate Steve Philp.
I think it might have been the same guy Lloyd was talking
He's also
about.
got some wacky ideas.
What's the name of the
He's got a
video
theory
so people
that
can
you
look it up?
get in-
If you want to check it out, it's Can You Get In Anywhere with a Ladder by Troy Kenny or Kine, Kinne. Go and check it out.
Kenny?
Yeah, Kenny.
He's
Kenny?
Australian.
Can I?
You got to say it with a
Anywhere.
question mark at the end. Kenny?
with a
Rise
ladder
up
under your
lights.
arm. We're gonna test it
Oh,
out.
no. No. No.
That was a hard no. That was like a
Hard
Benedict
no.
Cumberbatch no.
Yeah, buddy.
Where are they at right now? What's going on? Where are they walking into?
Public station.
Thank you.
He doesn't have to pay.
Fancy restaurant. Just got a ladder. It's not even. It's a regular like.
It's like
Yeah.
a 5-foot ladder.
Just like
If
the little
even,
aluminum, 4
They
foot.
got T-shirts and
Just
cargo
strolling
pants.
in with a normal haircut and some fucking jorts on.
Going back to the kitchen.
Excuse me. Thank you.
He's walking behind the bar. The bar has the glass see-through thing, so you can see the back of staff. He's like, "Yeah, sorry, excuse me." 5-star hotel is the next one. Okay, so the 5-star hotel, there's a door guy sitting there, and he's eyeballing the fuck out of him as he's walking in, but he's just strolling in there, acting like fucking.
And
supposed
can
to
you
be there.
imagine, like, just not a skit, but someone else walked in with a ladder, gat it down 30 people. The doorman survives, and they're like, what were you thinking? Like, what did you see when this man walked in?
He had a
He had a
ladder.
ladder.
Well, this is exactly social engineering, though. If you just like look like you're supposed to be there, it's the fucking orange construction. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big part of a lot of this shit. Like, hopefully people aren't using that.
Except
and
this guy doesn't.
I love that you're
This
ginger
guy's wearing like a
psychopath.
blue
brain-
button-up, business shirt, probably with some dress pants, and he's coming in with a fucking ladder, and he's like, "Yeah, you should be here."
Yeah,
I
it
feel
doesn't-
like if you go in there dressed like Neo from the Matrix with your whole fucking yeah, your hair's slicked back, and you got the sunglasses, and it's the middle of the day.
I heart Sandy Hook patch.
Obvious fucking barrel of a shotgun coming through your trench coat. Yeah, you're gonna have some problems, but yeah, you just walk around like Joe Schmo. I don't think that there's gonna be any
man.
issues.
Just now you go in there with the duffel bag and a ladder. You think they're gonna stop you?
This is fascinating
No.
though, because this is real shit.
Right.
Like that's how you get away with just like.
Yeah.
Because that guy didn't know whether or not he should stop him. He was like, I don't know.
He's got a fucking
He was
ladder.
too fucking confident. Look, he's got a ladder.
How you Cinema
About
2?
to shoot every kid in this fucking theater, bro.
A friend of mine bought a Pepsi jacket from a thrift store,
Yeah.
like the workman's jacket or whatever, and he used to just go up to like Kings Island and he would carry like a little tool bag and wear that, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm here to fix the machines over in blah
Throw
blah blah."
that shit in the locker
Jesus.
and just be about
That
his day.
that thing
hilarious.
that I keep bringing up over and over again about the construction thing comes from Andy Andrus. If you're not familiar, go and check out his new special on Vimeo. He's a funny ass comedian. If you listen to it and you're like, he sounds like Stanhope's like, no, actually, I'm ripping off Andrus half the time, and nobody knows who the fuck he is. Go and check out Andy Andrus, but naturejack.com and buy one of his fucking Nature Jack t-shirts. But he literally carries an orange construction vest at any time so that he could just pull off on the side of the highway when a car is parked and break into somebody's car and steal their pills out of the car and just drive on off. And that's fucking.
That's just something
don't
he
do
does.
that.
Yeah, that's
he's
nice.
he's a maniac. Yeah, robbing his neighbors and jerking off. Nature Jack comes from jacking dick in nature and shit like that. It's a
Good
real
Lord.
story.
Saw a
He's
real sexy duck one time.
Yeah, I'm not saying use the social engineering for evil, but if you're gonna be chaotic evil, have a website. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's do a couple more minutes of this, and then we'll plug the Patreon.
I think people get the point of the video.
I'm just curious. It's captivating seeing these dude get in here.
The cinema.
Horse and carriage inspection?
He's up on the side of a horse and carriage.
Mate, that's a safety issue behind there. Gary, head office.
He tried to shake. He said, "Gary, head office." Trying to shake the guy's hand that's dressed like a dick with a top hat on. Is this back at the cinema?
Gary.
What driver number are you? Mate, no one likes working on a Saturday.
He's like,
What
you
about-
know,
He
I
gets
didn't
back
hear-
up on the ladder.
I didn't hear this from Horse Corporate.
I don't think it'd be Barkley with that ladder. The lyric.
Lyric.
Let him in.
They let him in. The guy's looking back and forth like, did I just let this guy walk into the theater with a ladder?
He's like, "Did I just tell him the exact thing he needed to say back to me for me to let him in?"
Are you here to fix the lyric?
Yeah,
The lyric. Yep.
Can you imagine having the fucking just the nuts to sit there and straight face somebody and be like, yep, and not? I would lose my composure within seconds because I'd be so enthralled with my own stupid ass fucking joke. I'm not cut out for this sort of work. I would have fucking lost my shit. I would have laughed too hard.
My friend used to work at a Gold Star, and apparently somebody like came up and was like, "Oh, I'm from this Gold Star over here. Like we had like some stuff on the same delivery." And this dude would come up and grab like a whole thing of hot dogs and a whole thing of chili every time they got a delivery. And it took him years to realize like he was not from another Gold Star. He's just a dude who lived near there who saw the delivery schedule and would go over with a black polo shirt on. Didn't even have a Gold Star thing on it. And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, my Gold Star split delivery, so I'm supposed to grab a case of hot dogs and a case of chili off of this too." Throw it in his normal ass car, drive back to his house, and it took him like a couple of years to
And
figure it
stroll
out.
back
He
at a
faced
normal
no
pace.
repercussions, right?
No,
Good.
no one
good.
did anything.
That's all their fucking stupid ass fault. How are they not communicating that?
Well, I just love that it took him a couple of years.
Yeah, right. Like no one was like, "Well, we got the delivery coming
Also,
in this
how
morning." We
much
also
did that
got
motherfucker love Gold Star?
yeah. Well, dude, I don't know if you could run game like that and get it guaranteed every time. I probably would too, just to do
Nah,
it.
he was slinging that on the side, half price chili
you're
and shit.
probably
like that.
right.
you go.
He's got he's selling it
Hello.
with like the other tenants in this
That
fucking
dude died.
building.
That dude died. That's how it stopped. Just because he ate fucking 16 hot dogs a day.
I think this is another gamble story. I'm gonna do this all fucking the rest of the Patreon too. But you heard about the guy that set up another social engineering thing where there's a zoo that didn't charge for parking in a specific lot, but this guy came in every day, literally every single day the zoo's open for fucking 10 straight years. He had his own booth that he manufactured. He set this bitch up. He fucking dressed in a little stupid outfit. He cash only. You want to park here?
outfit.
You know, fucking. He had to work this job too. That's the most hilarious. No, this was a Legion of Skanks thing. Yeah, he had to wear the stupid outfit every day. Is the only downside to this. This man cashed literally over $1 million worth of parking things. One day he just stopped showing up, and they were like, "What the fuck happened to Gary?" They start talking to the zoo staff, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" You know, from the pay lot over across the street, and they were like, There's no pay lot across the
And
street. And they were
apparently-
like, no, yeah, he's been here for years. And they were like, he may have been. You guys have been getting fucked in your assholes repeatedly.
But
And
apparently, like the business had reported him like a couple years before,
and nobody would do shit.
and cops showed up like, "Hey," and he's like, "No, I just work for them." I guess they must have thought they must. There was a guy filling in for me for a couple
played
hours.
it off?
That's
Yeah, like he
amazing.
apparently said like, "Oh, there was another guy like
That guy
here
gets to keep
covering
that
for
money.
me."
Fuck the IRS.
Yeah,
that guy gets to
absolutely.
keep that money.
Absolutely,
Fuck the
he does.
IRS. Like, what? Can we just sign a petition for fucking whatever his hillbilly name
there
is?
needs to be some sort of law that protects successful schemers like that, kind of like squatting rights. You know what I mean? Like if you manage to hold this fort down long
Or
enough,
like
it's
Bernie
yours.
Madoff, where it's like, what were you ripping off? Other assholes that were ripping off other people?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I don't
cursed.
know. You get to keep the money because
Yeah.
like you ripped off the right people. You didn't fuck anybody over that didn't have any money. Like, yeah, sure, send the Wolf of Wall Street Jordan Belfort dick guy that's fucking playing poor people on penny stocks. Yeah. Bernie Madoff, yeah, he's fucking over other people that are fucking you. I don't know what to tell you. You should have been smarter, bitch. Ah. Or the guy that like 10 years of doing it and they called the cops and he talked his way out of it. I don't know, IRS. I don't. Come on, can we get a loophole for this man?
Yeah.
Bernie Madoff's a bad example. Fuck that guy. But
Yeah.
all right, I almost called you the wrong name. Empire Citizens. Go and check them out. Do you have anything you want to plug before we get into our little plugs and our ad reads and shit?
Oh yeah, I got a show coming up next Friday.
Where do we go?
It's Design Collective is the gallery. It's on Hamilton Avenue in Northside.
Fuck yeah, down the street from where we're
Cincinnati.
recording.
Yes, absolutely.
When is it?
November 26th, so Black Friday.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's the same date as one of our shows.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck our show. Go out and see Empire Citizens.
do both.
Do both.
Yeah, do
You
both.
guys
Wait,
put-
what time is your show?
It's from 7 to 11ish.
Our shit doesn't pop off until 9:15. So,
Oh,
But
hey,
I will be
and
doing
it's on
my
Hamilton
5
Avenue.
minute set at probably 7:15.
Don't go see that.
Come see me.
We'll be
Bob.
there supporting him.
Well, yeah, no, go check it out. I've been.
That's
to,
actually fortuitous for both of us because
Yeah.
like people
Yeah,
can go out there,
cross-promotion.
check
Yeah,
his
dude.
shit out for a couple hours, come down, see the comedians that are over at Chameleon for the Quaint Volcano
Oh,
show.
dude, that is perfect.
Yeah, it's on the same strip. Like you don't even got to fucking drive for both of them. You make one parking spot, you walk to both. There's
Yeah.
bars in between. There's good ass
They're
food.
both funny.
Yeah, it'll be a fucking great goddamn time.
Yeah. So the show's called the End is on Sale.
Ooh.
perfect.
There's never been a better time to buy.
Beautiful.
There's going to be lots of cool art. I've like made a ton of merch. I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
Buy a
I
T-shirt.
saw the picture, the Reaper with the end is on sale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that looked nice.
Thanks.
And I'll tell you what, if you want to send some of that merch over with us at Chameleon, we'll put it up with our.
Sick. It's a match made in heaven, man.
And we don't want any of the money. We just want to sell you shit.
Yeah,
and give
we'll
you
just
the
sell
money.
that shit for you.
perfect.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, even
looking-
better. Even
Fuck
better.
a cut of the profits.
It's kind of an anti-brand anyway, so I'm just trying. Like, it's all pretty much out of pocket. It's like, what do you call it? Passion project.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
the.
I'm
that's
just
the
trying to
t-shirt
cut-
that you're selling right there.
I'm doing a bunch of different designs and merch. That one's.
I thought you were gonna say obviously it's not a Harry Potter painting where it's moving on the shirt.
No, not quite. I actually didn't do shirts with that image because it would have been like 3 colors, which is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So expensive.
But there's going to be a lot of cool shit there. I promise. So.
Yeah, where's it at again?
Design Collective.
All right,
That's the name of the gallery.
And that's
running
like
from
7 to
7:15
11?
until 11. Go
So,
and
yeah.
fucking check that shit
Yeah.
out, dude.
It's going to be. It's up for the month of. It comes down December 24th. So
Fuck your consumerism. If you don't want to go out and buy into the hype, I mean, do shit online
consume
shop.
my anti-brand.
Yeah, do that stuff. I mean, if you want to really like fucking give back to your community, like everybody says they want to, don't go buy into the fucking pay for Sony and Walmart and shit like that.
Yeah.
Go out and actually support your local community. Our show's free, and his show, just walk in, see if you like it, and if you do, pay for it, and if not, fucking just enjoy it and love it. And that's the same way for both things that are going on. Same strip, Hamilton Avenue. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Go and check that shit out.
And all the money I make, I just plug into the project, so it just helps me make more shit. So more pasters, more bus ads, more T-shirts, all that stuff.
Do you have
So-
another hour to talk on the Patreon after this?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah. If you guys want to check out the rest of this conversation, as well as our 50-plus hours of content, as well as our side podcast, mine, Huckers Fuckers, I don't put it out a lot. We also don't put out our movie review, Bastard LLC, as much as we should. We're going to get on that. We absolutely are. I say this every week, and every week we don't deliver. I understand that. I appreciate everybody that's been with us since the beginning and continues to support us and shit like that. For $5, you get at least at the bare minimum an extra bonus episode that's usually about an hour long every single week, and you get the normally free episode, which regular listeners are going to get on Sunday. You get that on Saturday whenever Luke decides to upload it. Hopefully it's not 11 p.m. at night.
Right.
But you usually isn't and shit like that. But go and check it out. What the fuck is my mouth doing? Patreon.com/thebastardsermon. $5 gets all of our content plus the side podcasts and everything else. This episode is normally sponsored by Kneel to No One, but he's kind of pulling away from his brand right now to focus on himself. He was going to do a live show. I don't know what's happening with it, but still support him by listening to his podcast, What You Into. It's a great hobbies and collections podcast.
December 8th.
Hey, there you go. December 8th. He's going to be on the day after we have Danny Gamble on. By the way,
Tank is the man.
Tank is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. We've got his glassware in here. He's been supporting the show since the beginning. He was my art teacher in high school. I love that guy.
That's rad.
Whatever he's fucking doing, fucking go out there and support it. I don't know if he's still doing his show or not, but if he is, just follow his Kneel to No One on Instagram and shit like that. Luke, take it over, baby boy.
We are also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop has got it all when it comes to the smoking culture. God damn it, Lloyd, your cold-ass hands. Whether you need rolling papers, you need a nice new bowl.
He's getting rock hard right now.
Perhaps a nice glassware bong, or maybe you need some kratom to help put you to sleep. Or maybe you need some nice, cold, clammy Lloyd hands to rub on your face. Go ahead and head on over to
He was trying to extract the THC crystals from your sweat glands. That's what was happening.
Head on over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke
All that
Shop
stuff's
for all
for
of
tobacco use only.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Yeah.
You're
No,
right.
they have smokable
Yeah,
Delta
they've got
8.
Delta 8.
You want to
they've
get
got
high?
Delta 10.
Dude, what is up with that?
You wanna
I
actually
don't
get
mean to
high?
interrupt your plug
No,
here, man.
so Delta 8 and Delta
Does
10
it get you high?
it gets you high. It legitimately gets you high.
And you don't have to lie about it. It's federally legal.
It basically gets the law on a technicality. That's
sweet.
it.
I saw that shit in the fucking bodega or whatever.
Well, buy it over at
they had
Scarlet
like
Vape and
fucking moon
Smoke
rocks.
Shop.
So I was like, those look like moon rocks.
How many
Cheaper than
locations
weed.
do they have?
Buy them at Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop and tell them you're a bastard, and you'll get 15% off when you buy that Delta 8
Where can
or
they
Delta
go
10.
to get that discount, though?
They have one of two locations, one at 937 Mama Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071, and the other at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249.
I smoked pot one time, but it made me really sick. I threw
it's-
up and I never tried it again.
I know a lot of people like that.
I don't like weed, for real. I know you're kidding, but
it's a gateway drug.
Nah, I like
I don't
whiskey
like
and
weed.
cocaine. I'm not a big weed guy.
I love weed.
Same.
I used to love it, man, until it started. Weed makes me feel the way that. Not to take anything away from our beautiful sponsor. If that's your thing, go and check it out. They also have Kratom. And you can smoke tobacco out of any of the products that they have, plus
That's
support
called a
your local
Nico
community. I used to smoke weed every day, but now weed, I describe it as like, you know, the uncomfortable moments of life when you're sober? Weed kicks that up to about a 10, and then also makes me feel like I can feel my blood coursing through my eyeballs as I close my eyes, and I can see like actual cartoons fuck inside of my head. It's not my thing.
Dude, you
but
just
if it
gotta
is yours-
find the right strain.
Yeah,
man.
Dude,
I hate those people.
You know what?
I hate them.
I was about to argue.
You nailed it.
You
and
need
tell
Blue Dream, man. Have you tried that?
Have you tried an
White
indica?
Super
How about
mellow.
a hybrid, bro?
I was gonna argue it and
Fuck
tell
you
you.
guys.
I was gonna argue it and tell you how awesome it was, and how awesome I love it. But
I'll hit
like,
your weed.
I was at work today, having a panic attack. I was having a panic attack thinking about my material that I'm working on for that set, and also having conversations that haven't happened yet.
With space lizards?
Defending your set
Yeah,
on the
not
podcast
defending my set,
live.
but just having a conversation.
Well,
and
we made that
I,
joke because I thought it would be funny because, like,
But I realized I was doing all of that at once, and it really spaced me the fuck out. I had to take a deep breath.
That's why I suggest multivitamins and creatine only.
guys,
God,
please
yeah.
also
Clean
check
living.
out. Please also check out Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. That's our very own Lloyd Johnson and Alex Schubert's roast joke podcast about sports, specifically football and specifically the Bengals. Even if you're not a sports fan, if you don't like the sports ball, which I know is a term Lloyd doesn't like at all, if you don't like the sports ball in any way, shape, or form, if you're like a me or a Luke sort of character, then it's still a fun podcast to listen to. Hey, a little surprise, a little M. Night Shyamalan twist at the end. It's funny, and I walked in today to Lloyd writing jokes about the podcast. He does his due diligence to make sure that it's a funny listen for people that don't even know who they are. I mean, Google the name if you don't know who it is, but the jokes will still land, and you'll have a good-ass fucking time listening to it. I listened to just a couple that he ran by me, and I'm over here giggling like a schoolgirl. It's a fun listen, and I've listened to it before. It's really good. One last one before we go over to the Patreon. Dark Mountain Cult. That's the former host of the Bastard Sermon, the one that Lloyd replaced, Patrick Seda. He's running Dark Mountain Cult over there on Instagram, and if you want to get any of his prints, any of his custom designs, anything that he's doing, he does like tattoo shit. Like, he's not tattooing it on you, but he'll do the design and you can get it fucking tattooed up by one of your local people. He's got all that for reasonable prices. He's super prolific. He's always doing cool shit. Please go and check him out. He doesn't need our help for this. He's got like 5,000 fucking Instagram followers and growing, and he's nailing it every single fucking day, making crazy side money. This isn't even his main thing. He's doing this on the side, and he's nailing it. I'm so proud of my boy, Patrick. I'm so proud of you. And he'll be on the podcast soon, sometime in November. Lloyd?
All right. Also, just if you get a chance, go check out Empire Citizen over there. If not, come check out. Like, we'll have some of the merch, and if nothing else, I'll have some free stickers to give out for sure. Which I'll take anytime we do anything where we have any interaction with you guys. I'll bring some of these stickers along because he was kind enough to give us some stickers to hand out.
You can't have that whole box.
Well, I didn't think so. Yeah, no, I just planned on taking the whole thing.
And I don't know if it was obvious or not. Obviously, it was obvious. But Danny Gamble, go and check out fucking All City.
Wild style signs. Like, he did all my printing and shit. So
and he's got
Danny's the man.
It's a brand new shop, and he's supporting.
Oh, it's sick. Yeah.
It's only supporting locals. Like, not only, but like just like really making sure that like. That's a dude that came out of fucking Indiana that moved over to fucking like Washington State.
We won't hold that against him.
He's done shit everywhere around the nation. Like, did his apprenticeship over. Where did he do his apprenticeship? Philly and shit like that for like tattooing.
He was out in Seattle.
Everywhere.
He's OG, man. He learned from the sign painters out in Seattle. I'm
not sucking his dick too hard right here. He's literally one of the best artists in the nation, if not the world to me. Like, that dude could do anything that he wants to. And the fact that he's in our local community and he's fucking putting out master classes for free. Like, you see those fucking, like, you want to learn how to be a band, listen to Metallica themselves. He's doing that for free for no money in All City. If you're an aspiring artist and you just want some information on, like, how to paint, the methodologies behind it, the thought processes and shit like that, go and listen to All City. It is a fucking free podcast. I can't stress it enough. For free masterclasses. All right, I won't keep beating us down. Patreon.com/thebastardsermon. $5, you get the rest of the conversation, all of our other shit. Goodbye, fuckfaces.